Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in, guys. Sergeant Moose here, back with another The First Descendant build video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about the Void Erosion Purge, and of course, we're going to be talking about Freyna in today's video, guys. I have been taking a lot of time working on her, in and out of the lab, trying to get her right for these Void Erosion Purges. So, as most of you guys know, Raya is the talk of the town right now, man. She is blowing through these 1 through 20 purges pretty much faster than anybody in the game. But as we know, also, we have on February 6th, we have levels 21 through 30 coming for the purges, which are going to be much harder, I'm assuming, and we don't know what kind of factions or, you know, what kind of elements are going to be toward the end. So I want to have Descendants ready to go, which is one of the reasons why I'm working on one of my favorite Descendants, Freyna, so she can help us in the future, because, you know, as Ines is great right now, I don't know how long it's going to last and how far it's going to go in these purges, so I want to be ready. So, without further ado, guys, let's jump into the build, as there is a lot to talk about here. So, guys, taking a look at the build, we're going to start with the weapons first. We're looking at the Secret Garden. As you guys can see, you're probably familiar with this if you're familiar with, you know, Freyna or Ines. But we're running the Secret Garden for a few things. Let's jump into its unique ability. When using a tech skill, grants the unique ability Pest Control, and of course this greatly increases our skill power and it stacks as well. So very important to know there, guys. This is why a lot of people like to run Secret Garden with Freyna. Now ideally, guys, I would like to run a different weapon as my primary, as this build is focused on the Legion of Immortality, which are electric based enemies. Now, obviously, Toxic is effective against electric, which is why we're doing this video, because we want to focus this build on electric enemies, but also a Crush type weapon is better in this scenario than the Secret Garden. However, because of the Secret Garden's unique ability, I felt I had no choice but to keep this weapon as her primary and just boost as much into it as humanly possible, because this Freyna, my Freyna, I want to focus mainly on the electric types. I would like to have a rotation of Descendants to go through with the different elements, so we're working on her, and that's what basically we're specifying her for. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into the modules, guys. This is a pretty standard Secret Garden build here, but as you guys can see, I made a little change. A few little changes here. We went with a Toxic Enhancement, Toxic Gun Barrel, because as you guys know, the elites or the commanders in these modes have increased HP. That's one of the modifiers. So they are very, very tanky, very beefy, and we want to be able to take them out very quickly. You know, we have the leaderboards coming as well on February 6th. So, you know, time's going to be a big thing, and you're going to be seeing a lot of builds revolving around time. So, Toxic Gun Barrel, Toxic Enhancement, that's what we're running for these elites to give us a little extra damage. We also went into the Master Cores a little bit too, as you guys can see here. We got Toxic Attack, 73%. We also have bonus firearm attack versus Legion of Immortality at 280%, and also a little more crit rate coming in here. Sprint speed, so we can move a little bit faster through the missions. But that's going to be our primary weapon here on Freyna. Coming down here, guys, to the Vulture. We're running this for one small purpose. Again, as I've said before, you know, this Vulture is clearly not built for these missions. On my current build, I like to run this with Haley in the level 20s, but there is one interesting thing about the Vulture, and that is also its unique ability too. So no matter what, guys, no matter what kind of shields the enemies have, no matter what elemental type they are, the Vulture is built to instantly delete those shields, and that is exactly what we use it for in this mode. You will see some enemies that do have them shields. They can be annoying. They can be really hard to take off with RK abilities or even a weapon, but the Vulture will instantly delete those shields, so we'll quick swap to the Vulture, get rid of those shields, and swap back to the Secret Garden. That's the only use for it on this build. Alright, guys, so coming into the Descendant Modules, now this will be a pretty standard build that you would see on a lot of Freynas, especially in a lot of mobbing Freynas. However, these missions are a little bit different than just mobbing because of the elite, so we had to make a few changes here. We're sticking with Contagion. Now, I know a lot of people like to go Venom Synthesis just so they can move faster throughout these missions, but I like the modifier that Contagion has to the ability. It allows us to, put so much more toxic on enemies without getting too overly close to them, which I like. So we're keeping Contagion here. We're doing a lot of health mods on this build, guys, and I wish I had a few more mod slots left because I would do even more. One thing is with this build, you do have to move. You have to move around. You can't get hit too much. These elites hit really, really hard. They will kill you really quickly. So we had to make a few changes that I wasn't too happy about, but we had to do it nonetheless. And, I'm pretty satisfied with it now, but we went ahead and added increased HP amplification. We also even added HP collector. Now, you guys don't have to go with this one. If you like something else, you want to go more range on your build or something like that, you can do that. But with me, at least I know I can take out some of these trash mobs. If I'm getting hit or, smacked by elites, I can take out some of these trash mobs and get some of my HP back to prevent deaths. We're coming over to focus on tech, toxic amplification, focus on toxic, of course, all the standard mods for Freyna here, skill expansion, so we can get some extra range. We want duration with her abilities as well, and nimble fingers for skill cooldown. This is a pretty standard setup aside from the HP, but I felt like we kind of need it, man, because I don't like running too many glass cannon builds. Aside from Enos, I don't mind that too much, but with Freyna, I like to have her a little bit beefy so she could take some hits. But that is the build for Freyna herself. We'll talk about the reactor here, guys. We're going for toxic and tech, of course, the toxic mechanics, toxic skill power boost ratio. You want that skill cooldown as well. You could go tech skill power boost ratio here too. It would work as well, but try to get that skill cooldown. That is very, very important. Coming down to the components here, we have the Slayer set, of course, as most of you guys know. That's pretty much the most popular set in the game. We want MP recovery in and out of combat, max MP modifiers here going on it, and a 26.1 skill power increase. That's what makes the Slayer set so good. So we're running that for this mission as well. Coming over to Inversion Reinforcement, guys, we're going to make some changes here. As you guys can see, again, more toxic we're throwing on this secret garden. Toxic focus rounds adds even more toxic damage to help us get those elites down even faster. Also, the RK boost. If we hit 5 or more enemies, we grant the RK boost, which gives us more skill cooldown, skill speed, and range increase modifier. And we have up here the inversion particle augmentation, gives us some more defense whenever we're hitting enemies, up to 5 stacks. And going back to the secret garden real quick, guys, I just wanted to talk about the substats a little bit too. We're going more toxic attacks. You guys can see we are absolutely stacking the toxic damage on this weapon because these elites are extremely tanky. But with this weapon here, they die relatively quickly, and we can, smoothly move on through the mission. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, this build will probably not reach the top of the leaderboards, at least for right now. It is very efficient. I've had quite a few sub 5 minute runs with this build on level 18 against the Legion of Immortality. It's very solid. It'll get you through. It'll get your master cores. A speed run, maybe not. We'll be working on it in the future. We'll see how levels 21 through 30 are looking like with, the leaderboards and stuff like that. But I like what I see here, and it gets me through the missions quickly, and it gets me my master cores, so that's what makes me happy. And, I wanted to wait to get this build out until I was sure that I could, seamlessly run through these missions and complete them. That's what I want to bring to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, we're trying to work on different Descendants for the upcoming 21 through 30s. We're going to be working on a Viessa build. We're going to be having her out soon too, so we can get through some of these Fire Legions as well. Enos is a ton of fun, guys. Not going to lie, I have a ton of fun with her, but I like to switch it up between Descendants and, like to have a little rotation going on. So I feel like this is a good one for Freyna, but nonetheless, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you think of this build? Hopefully you guys guys try it. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. It'll get you through these missions. But with that said, guys, my name's Sergeant Moose. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys on the next one, man.